Chris.
William.
Hello. Today is a day of numbers. 43 countries competing in Eurovision 2018, 6 automatic qualifiers, 37 semi-finalists who had to be assigned to a semi, with the Big Five plus host country Portugal being assigned a semi in which to vote. Should we talk about it?
I think we should. Let's do this.
In the first semi-final on May 8th, competing in the first half are Belarus, Bulgaria, Lithuania, Albania, Czech Republic, Belgium, Iceland, Azerbaijan, Israel, and Estonia.
And in the second half, it's Switzerland, Finland, Austria, Ireland, Armenia, Cyprus, Croatia, Greece, and the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia.
That's a mouthful. Now, I've been scouring through the comments on the website and through your lovely post, and Finland is a hot topic. Sara Aalto has the advantage of having the UK vote in this semi. There's a lot of love for her following the X Factor, and some of our readers are saying she's also going to get points from Ireland, Estonia, Iceland, Belgium, Austria, Switzerland. So it's looking pretty good.
Yeah, and the second half is a really good draw for her. I mean, Finland haven't qualified now since 2014, so it kind of feels like this is very well set up for her to make it through. And having that UK and Ireland, and then, Estonia as well, the Baltic kind of influence, it's really good. And because this semi-final doesn't have a lot of neighbours voting together, and it is, I don't want to say it's weaker, but there's more countries that aren't guaranteed qualifiers from it, you kind of feel like. I think one of the interesting things is Iceland. They are in the first half, which you would think isn't great considering Iceland's recent history as well. But actually, if you look back to 2014, that was the last time they drew the first half, and that was Polopunk, and then they qualified. And they've been second half with Maria, with Svala, with Greta, and not got anywhere. So maybe, if you're superstitious, if you believe in those kind of things, then you'd think, oh, Iceland have a good shot. They are so far away from the rest of the Scandinavian and the Nordic countries. So they have Finland, but that's kind of it for them. The others all end up in semi-final too. So it's going to be quite a struggle for them. I don't know who they had when Polopon qualified, but yeah, I would still worry about Iceland just because of the selection, but it's promising if you believe in that stuff.
And it's an interesting point. I'd say Iceland and Ireland, a lot of people are worried about. Some of our readers point out that in this semifinal, you've got perennial qualifiers in Armenia and Azerbaijan. And then also you've got a skew of countries who do really well or have done really well lately. Belgium, Bulgaria, Austria, Israel, Croatia. Not much space
Lithuania
left.
As well, when you think, because they've got the UK and Ireland will both vote, and they have quite a big Lithuanian diaspora. So that's another one that's going to be interesting.
And we know that Finland is so strong this year. She's got this global team, so it's going to be hard to break through. But of course, Robin, a Wiwi blogger, points out that last year people said, oh, Portugal, first half, first semi, this is not going to happen. And then they end up winning all of it. So we should point out, we're just looking at historical voting patterns and things. It actually means nothing until the songs come out, but it's something nice to chew on.
I think Greece and Cyprus are the only ones where I'm like, they're obviously probably going to give each other the points. But, that's normal, especially if Cyprus has Eleni, who is Greek and is obviously going to be a huge star there. So, there's nobody, this feels very open. There's nobody where I would say immediately, you can rule them out of contention, because the only two that I would say, I can't see Armenia and Azerbaijan not qualifying. They could both turn up with completely awful songs, but historically speaking, and Bulgaria, we know that they've got a very strong team behind them. But otherwise, Switzerland and Austria might give each other some points. The problem with Armenia and Azerbaijan is they won't give each other any points, so you immediately lose 24 points on people. Which, it might not make a difference, or if one of them stumbles, you don't know. It's going to be very close. And it's a good one for countries like the Czech Republic, like Albania, who haven't had, they don't often have a huge amount of support to begin with. But if they bring good songs, and we know Albania have got a good song, then it's a good shot for them.
And someone pointed out, rather they theorized, that Greece, Cyprus, Albania, former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, Bulgaria might help each other out. I think Albania has a really good shot at going through because that song is so quality and it's got some friendly votes coming its way. Moving on to the second semifinal, this is on May 10th. Performing in the first half are Russia, Serbia, Denmark, Romania, Australia, Norway, Moldova, San Marino, and the Netherlands.
And performing in the second half, it's Montenegro, Sweden, Hungary, Malta, Latvia, Georgia, Poland, Slovenia, and the Ukraine.
So the first thing that stands out to me is that Russia is performing in this semi for the first time ever, and they're going to be competing against Ukraine. And the reason I am focusing on this is because recently Yulia Samoylova, her management, confirmed to us, or rather told us, that their participation had been confirmed, but we're still waiting for the broadcaster to actually confirm that. And she, of course, is on the Ukrainian blacklist of artists, so Ukraine, which will be obliged to air every performance by EBU rules, would then be violating its own rules by broadcasting a banned performer. So it's a really sticky, tricky situation. I mean, and nothing is actually confirmed until the broadcaster confirms it, in my mind. So that is a storyline to watch as we move forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's very awkward because if the Ukraine suddenly turn around and are like, oh no, we'll show it this year, then it just looks really bad. Like it's kind of everybody's backed into a corner already on this one. I don't know. Apparently, I've seen somewhere somebody said that she might not actually be on one particular blacklist. It's one of those things where there's so much up in the air about it still that it's very difficult to say what's going to happen. But I worry that it's going to be the story again. And I hope it isn't, because almost for Yulia's sake, just let the poor woman sing
and let's be done with it.
Rather than it be the big story again. And also for Portugal's sake, like they don't want to be having to, deal with that when they're hosting. So
absolutely. And Russia's not going to withdraw. They're coming to win. And I bet you, if she is the confirmed artist, I bet you they've written a heck of a song because they want to do well. In any case, people are calling this semi a bloodbath, citing a strong 9, Russia, Romania, Australia, Norway, the Netherlands, Sweden, Hungary, Poland, Ukraine. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it's like you've got the 3, you've got Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. You've got Serbia, Montenegro. They'll vote for each other. Russia are in there. The Netherlands kind of stick out for not really having, I don't want to say not having a friend, but it's the same. Netherlands and Australia they just seem to pick votes at random usually. So that's going to be interesting. Georgia obviously will vote for Russia. There's so many where you're like, oh, they'll do this, they'll do that. And that's just historical. We're not saying that it's definitely going to happen, but we have reason to believe it probably will.
Romania has Moldova in this semi.
And Italy are voting in this semi, so that's probably a lot of points for Romania. San Marino, Italy don't often tend to give San Marino that many points, and especially when it's not going to be an Italian artist, probably. That doesn't really mean much, I think. It's going to be so difficult to predict. It is entirely going to come down to the songs, and even then, it's going to be so tight.
Is Germany voting in this semi-final?
Germany are voting in this semi, and France as well.
I think that'll be good for San Marino. I just have a strong suspicion that a German or Austrian artist will win. I'm not basing this on, I haven't even heard the songs, obviously, but I just have this feeling because, the jury panel has Zoe, she's Austrian, it's run by Austrians, there's German language. I don't know, something tells me, especially if the televote is so small, because to get more than 10% of the vote to be the televote, they have to have over 50,000 votes, and I don't think that will happen. So it seems like basically the jury will decide, and the jury, of course, have connections. Anyway, looking at this list, a lot of people have said, you have those strong 9 who typically qualify: Russia, Romania, Australia, Norway, Netherlands, Sweden, Hungary, Poland, Ukraine. And that would leave the following countries in the cold: Malta, which often struggles, Serbia, Denmark, which has struggled recently, Moldova, they have Philip Kirkorov, but again, this might be an uphill battle, and Latvia.
Yeah, Latvia, we thought Latvia were a shoo-in last year when they drew second half and then were last in the running order. I actually worry I worry a little bit for Australia. And the only reason why I say that is, that there's so many neighbours and they don't have a neighbour, obviously. And the televote wasn't that strong for Isaiah. I mean, Jess Mauboy, I think, will probably be better. But again, there's no guarantees. We need to hear the songs. They've drawn first half. They only ever draw first half.
It's curious.
It seems it's just one of those weird little coincidences. But I think my favourite coincidence that somebody has pointed out is that Sweden have the last two times Sweden performed in the second half of the second semi-final was in 2012 and in 2015. And it's like, well, again, coincidences. Do you believe?
Stars are lining up. I think Georgia's really going to struggle. I mean, the act we were underwhelmed with to begin with, and then with this bloodbath going on, it's going to be a proper uphill battle.
Yeah, Russia maybe will send some points their way. But yeah, I mean, you think Poland dominate the televote, it's just going to be, I genuinely don't know. I think Denmark will probably get points from somewhere. So they're kind of one that, they're a bit hit and miss in terms of their qualification. Same with Norway.
Yeah, and they barely squeaked through last year. I think they were 10th in their semi. Australia, I'm sure the jury vote will help them. They bring quality acts that juries respond to, and Jessica can sing. And I think she's vocally a bit stronger than Isaiah. He was younger and less seasoned, where she's been here before in a sense, even if it was just an exhibition performance. But yeah, this semi, we're going to lose some of our pretties, some of our favorites. They won't be in the final. And it's always painful, but like you could already see it written in blood, can't you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, even Hungary, Central Europe, so they kind of get support from around, but again, it's not a guarantee, it feels like. Fair enough, they have qualified every year, I think.
Yeah.
I can't remember last time Hungary didn't qualify.
Since they came back, they've been on point.
Yeah. But again, I don't want to say anybody is a definite. I mean, if Russia, if Yulia's song isn't as strong, because Flame is Burning was fine, but I don't think it would necessarily great. If it's something like that and it's in the first half, you don't know. I think she will qualify, but yeah, this is just it's already making me nervous, and we're sort of like 4 months away, and it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a great show no matter what, because so many of these countries bring amazing songs. I mean, Serbia haven't necessarily had the best run recently. They didn't qualify in 2013. They didn't qualify last year. You can find flaws for everybody as to why they may not make it.
Hopefully, Beovizia will breathe new life into their selection, and the song will be super quality.
Yeah, I think sort of like Romania and Sweden. Honestly, I kind of feel like I could only safely say Romania and Sweden will qualify right now, because Ukraine you would expect to, and Russia would expect to, but because of that whole situation, it's kind of like, not sure.
I'd also say the Netherlands, just based on jury support. I think and he's a good performer.
Yeah, that's true. That is true, actually.
My God.
Yeah, it's just one of those where it's like, oh, no, don't want to pick.
Well, that's what we think. What do you think? Which countries are you worried for? Which countries are you excited for? Who do you think's lucked out in the draw? And who are you feeling sad for? Let us know here on wiwibloggs.
And make sure to like the video, hit subscribe, and the notify button so you get all our videos the moment they come out.
Why not? We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.